time for the seated leg press. What you want to do first, have a seat in your chair. These black grips on the side for your hands. This red grip will adjust the seat. You can just pull it close to you with your hip. You can slide it back or forward. Now, I think that's close to where, just let it go and it'll lock into place. So, when you have a seat, obviously you want to make sure your back is flush against the chair. And you want to make sure your feet are shoulder width apart. And then when you press, you want to press using your quads and into your feet, all over body. Hold on to your hand grips. And then when you get ready to extend, you want to keep a slight bend in your knee. Do not fully extend. Do not fully extend. So again, you want to keep a slight bend. And as you lower the weight, you do not want the weight to go back to a resting position. So keep it engaged and press it back out. Press it back out. And when you're done, again, as you're getting ready to do another rep, lower it in, lower it down, and into place. It depends if you're using these handle grips or these handle grips. Whichever handle grips you're using will determine which positioning your body is on the bench and also determine which exercise you will be performing. We'll show you the leg curls first. Doing a leg curl, you'll position yourself to lay with your belly on the bench like so. You will grab the two handles up front, keep your head down. Back here, my legs, my pad, I want to position my body on this bench so that this pad is below my calf and above the heel of my shoe. And now all I want to do is slowly lift the weight up, almost to where it touches my butt, and then comes back down. Again, do not let the weight re-rack itself. Keep it engaged, and then pull it back. Again, the objective right now is to do high reps, low weight. And then when you're done, just re-rack it all the way down. Slide your body off, and then sit up. Now if you want to do the leg extensions, you will sit like you're sitting in a chair. You will hook your feet underneath. Oh wow, look at these pads. They're hard to see. Underneath your feet, like so, and then you will extend out, back down, out, back down, out, back down. There you're done. So when you lay down, you want to make sure that the grips are parallel with your chest. Now, if they're not, then you can adjust the seat by doing this little knob right here. Sit up off of it, press it in, the seat will lower. Like so. Alright? Now, you can see here, this is significantly, this height to my shoulder is not, so I need to raise my seat back up. So, back here, push it in, raise it up. Keep my back flush. I want to use my hands, push it out. Again, keeping a slight bend like I was doing the leg press. Out. Out. Are you ready? Re-rack it down. Bottom of this machine you can't see. But as soon as you sit down, you'll see where your feet go. Make sure they're all the way back. Your heels are in the slot of the machine. Now, if you need to adjust the chest, you simply pull this spot up, and then it will extend out or in. This is for you in case you have longer or shorter arms. See, I can't quite reach, but I barely get it right there. That's good for when I want to be able to extend my arms back down. The weight's not going to re-rack all the way. So, I want to make sure that my chest is pressed firmly into this pad when I reach out. And see these handlebars are turned from left to right. When I grab them, I want to turn my palms inside so that my thumbs are facing to the ceiling. And when I pull back, I want to pull back, so I pull the weight into my body, keeping my elbows inside. And then I'm going to pull them all the way back in. Let it slowly back out. And then back in, back out. And when I'm done, I want to extend just a little bit there, lean into it, drop the weight. And the same goes as on the chest press. There is a button for the seat below. I'm trying to show this to you. If this pad is too short and not into your chest, you can push it in and lower it or raise it. Whatever's comfortable for you. Now, this is our low back machine. It's quite awkward getting ready to shoot this shot here, but you get 2 feet pads. Place your feet on the pad. This is comfortable for me to put them in the center here. And then I feel like my chest is getting pushed over, and this does feel uncomfortable to start, like not in a normal position. You see I got a bend in my knees here. If I need to adjust the distance here, if I have shorter legs, you basically don't want this when you're in this machine. Okay, when you get ready to do the low back lift, you want to make sure that you've got some bend in your knees, just like we're on the leg press. Okay, so if you need to bring it to you can pull up and make it closer. All right, there's little slots here on this bar. This knob just falls right into. But when you're in, make sure you get your back all the way against it, butt all the way into the seat. Here's your hand grips. There's one for your left and your right. And then you will slowly extend backwards. You can see kind of forced me to stop. I want to stop right before I get to that point, and then go back down. And I'm using my lower back. I keep my head and my face up towards the ceiling. Come back, and again, this is slow motion. When I'm done, I can re-rack it. Make sure the weights are all the way down. Back out. So, abdominal crunch. I want to make sure my back is flush. And then I got my 2 hand grips, left and right. Now, I want to position my feet on the floor so they're shoulder width apart. Shoulder width on the floor, my feet are flat on the ground. I'm putting my palms on the handle grips, as I have been on every exercise machine. And when I get ready, I want to keep my elbows in, and I want to pull them down to my hip. And I want to pull it back out, or let the weight back down, and pull back down in as far as it will allow me to go. Now, on this chair, there is a adjuster, again, red, to let the seat go up or down. Alright? You just want to make sure this is comfortable for you. So that when you reach up, that's not quite good enough. So when you reach up here, this is a comfortable position, and it's in your back, and also for your feet to be apart. This just needs to feel comfortable. Down, and in. Bicep curl and the tricep extension are basically the same machine, but where the bar is positioned for you to pick it up will remind you, as well as where it's labeled out on the machine, which exercise you're doing. The bicep curl, you want to pick up this bar, you see how it just easily pivots. The pulley will be on the bottom of the handle grip. So when you rack it, it'll usually be upside down. But inside the palm of your hands, you want to put your hand around the grip, alright, keeping your elbows against your body. And all you want to do is lift it up and then back down. You can keep your elbows inside and then back down. You do not want to try to do any half maneuvers. Try to get the full range of motion with this exercise. When you're done, you can see how the weight catches. It's not quite into the rack yet, so I want to gently rest. This is the tricep extension. Same essentially machine. You can see here, this is where on the bicep, the handle was racked for the bicep. Tricep is up top. I didn't mention this, but make sure you keep your feet shoulder width apart in a slight bend. You want to be in a nice stance. And then as you pull it down, you want to keep your elbows inside and push it down. There's a lot of different variations to this exercise we can discuss as the semester goes. But you want to make sure you keep your elbows in. And then you want to using your tricep muscle, you're pushing this weight down. And my hands are right in here on the handle grip. Down, all the way. You want to come up to where this is about even with your chin, your nose. You don't want it to come all the way back up. You'll end up using your momentum to pull the weight down rather than isolating the tricep. So you want to push it down and then let it back up. And it may be closer to your chest. It just depends on the length of your arm as you're growing. But again, feet shoulder width apart, just like bending your knee. You want to have these in here where your grips are right here parallel with your shoulder. Now, depending on which type of muscle, if you want to use the wide grip, you'll get a little more of the wider part of your back and shoulder. If you use the inside, you use a little bit more of the inside of your muscles on your back and shoulder. So, if you want to lift, still make sure your palms are wrapped here and you're using your palms to push. You just use your hands to get a nice comfortable grip. What I want to do is, I did not mention, but my feet are about shoulder width apart, maybe just slightly wider, but right now shoulder width apart, the feet flat on the floor, and I want to, using my shoulder muscles, press out. Not a full extension, keep a slight bend in your elbows, because you don't want those joints to hyperextend. So, and then when you're done, obviously just gently set it back down. If you want to use the outside grips, the wide grips, you can do that as well. Same movement. Out, keeping a slight bend when you're ready, and then let it back down. Again, the weight right here, my muscles are still engaged. That's just a little bit. You can see how the bar drops in. There's this wiggle room. You want to keep the bar engaged. So press up, and then let it stay engaged. That keeps your muscles working through the whole exercise. Sit down in your chair. And where's this little thing at? There it is. On your right side is the red knob. Right now, my legs, there's a slight space, it's hard to see, in my legs. All right, when I put them under here, they're just beneath. I want to have that where it's tight, pressing against it, so I can feel some pressure. That way when I'm lifting, I'm not moving the lower half of my body, which means I'm isolating my lats. So I'm going to use this red knob, lift the seat. Now I stick my legs in here. It's still very easy to do. I can slide them in, but I feel some pressure coming from the pad. I want to lift up, and I want to keep my hands at the left and right position. And I just want to pull them straight down on my shoulders and back up. I'm not sure if you can see the weights, but again, my elbows still are slightly bent. I don't have them fully out. This is awkward, and I'm putting some strain on my back, but I'm keeping my back straight and in position. And my feet, again, are shoulder width apart. But then when I pull down, I'm not changing my handle grip. Just kind of parallel my shoulder, back out. Parallel shoulder, back out. Then when you're done, you'll have to give a little extra reach. This is pretty good alignment for myself. For most of you guys, y'all are about the same size as me these days. So, height-wise. Now, if you need to adjust the seat, this one's on your left side. Press the knob in, seat goes up or down. That may actually be a little more comfortable. Down. There we go. Keep it in line on my chest. Alright. Now, I'm going to get my handle grips and spread my arms out. There is a slight bend in my elbows. I don't have them like straight locked. Don't ever lock. It puts too much pressure on your joints. You'll run the risk of not only injuring yourself now, but run the risk of potential long-term injury later as you grow and develop. So, keep a slight bend in your elbows. And as you bring it, the machine will help you keep this flush. You want to bring them together till they touch. And then back out. Now you can see the weights moving behind me. I don't want the weights. I don't want to hear that. It's like on other machines, there's a little bit of a wiggle, not much. But you do not want the weights to fully rest in the starting position. So keep them engaged. So when you come in, that keeps your muscles active during the entire exercise. And then lock. Now, if these are too far apart for you, and you want to adjust, you can use this knob here and bring it back. Alright? So you want to make sure these are on the same numbers. I just locked that in 6. Now this one's in 8. I'm going to bring this back to 6. That's a little uncomfortable and it's too far apart for me. The first place, 8, kept it nice and flush. You can see now when I'm pulling, it's awkward. I'm trying to get it out. You might think you're getting a better muscle workout, but really, you're hyperextending these muscles. So, send it back to 8. Now, it's about parallel rear delt exercise. Same thing as the chest, except we reversed. Instead of sitting back like this, we're now going to put our chest into the pad. Feet shoulder width apart, feet flat on the floor. I'm going to rest my chest. You can see my chin is almost on this chair. So I'm going to use the red knob on my right side in my seat. That way my chest is resting into this top part of the pad. And I want to push the weight out away from my body, keeping a slight bend in, and I'm going to use the weight to reverse the exercise. Basically, reverse chest fly. I'll come back. Again, not letting the weights re-rack into the starting position. When I'm done, I will then put the weights down, bring them in, same as chest press as we were doing before, similar to shoulder press. This is going to work the top part of your chest, whereas the chest press, mid-chest, incline press is the top part of your chest, and your shoulder press is obviously your top of your shoulders towards your back. So here you can use optional wide grip or inside grip. Again, same thing will happen. If you use the inside grip, you're working more right along the V, which if you're at the beach or at the pool, you get that nice definition between your chest muscles. Then if you want to go on the outside, it's working more towards your shoulders on the outside of your shirt. So when you do, this is comfortable. Make sure it's shoulder height. You're laying back, head back. My feet are slightly a little wider than shoulder width apart. My feet are flat on the floor. I'm not using my feet and all that crazy mess to press here. I just have my hands using it, pressing up, elbows still bent. I'm not locking them in a straight out. They're still bent. You can see the weight in the back of the screen moving. I did not let the weight re-rack or rest, go back to the starting position. If I did, you would hear this right there. All right. So I want to stop it right before I put it in the starting position, then press it back. Then press it back. And again, if you want to lock some grips, it's fine. Right here, you do the inside. Right? And if you need to adjust the seat, there's a little red knob on your left side. You can press it in, and the seat will adjust up. Some like silver rails down here for your feet. If it's easier, if you have shorter legs, you may want to use the top rail. If you have a little longer legs, you may want to use the bottom. Either one's comfortable. So that's where your optional feet are. Now, there's a red lever to the right side of your seat. You will, right now it's set on like 2. I'm not going to get a good workout like this. So when I'm in, obviously I'm going to pull this red handle up. When I do that, my pads want to go in because I'm pressing them towards the inside. Now, I want to I'm not using my thighs, I'm just letting the pads, and I'm using my lever to push my legs out and away. So I'm kind of pushing this red handle to the back of my seat. Now, this is comfortable for me. It's like on setting 5. When I get ready, I've got 2 hand grips right by my red lever. Hold the black hand grips, and I'm going to use my thighs to squeeze the pads together. You can see the weights moving. Again, I'm not letting it re-rack. I'm letting it stop, and then close. When you're finished, you're going to want to not bring them out here. You're going to use the red handle, and you can see my legs immediately start to close back in. Bring them back into the closest position, which is like the 1 position, and then you will move the red lever till it locks in place. Chin and dip. So if I want to do dips or I want to do chin-ups, pull-ups. Now, these handle grips will rotate out to in, out to in. There's not a big difference, but the same as applies on the other machines. If you have them if the handles are closer together, you're working more of the inside of your back. If you have them flipped to where they're outside, you're working more of the outside part of your back. So when you get ready, I'm going to turn them to the end for my demonstration purpose. There are 2 feet pads. You're going to put your both feet on the pad. All right. You're going to get your hands in place and in position, and then you're going to put your knees on this black pad. Your weight will push you down until you get into this position where your hands are right with your chest. And then you press yourself back up. You will push yourself up. Like so. When you're done, pop off. Now, I want to use the weights. The higher the weight, the more resistance, the more assistance the machine is giving me. So the less weight I'm using, the more my natural body weight I'm using. The more natural body weight you are, the more difficult this exercise is going to be. So, I'm going to move it to 5 because 10 was almost kind of weird for me doing the demonstration here. So I'm going to show you a chin-up, pull-up. I'm going to go ahead and get my feet on the pad. My hands are in the pull-up position. Then I'm going to put my knees on the pad. Then I'm going to go down, almost locked, but not quite. Elbows slightly bent. Pull myself up. Down. Get ready to dismount. Put your feet on the pad. And then slowly use your knee to let that pad up. And then you can step off. All the machines are the same with the pin system. You'll just slide these pins out. And then if you want to decrease weight, go up. So one is the least amount of weight, all the way down to like 16 or 20, depends on which machines you're on. But you will find a comfortable weight. So if you need to add weight, let's say you started on 3, and you will go down to, I don't know, let's say 5, but it's that simple. You want to make sure this bar, this pin, is all the way in, and each one of these weights have a hole for the pin to slide into. But that's how you adjust the weight. Again, if you want to decrease, say you started at 5, or somebody in front of you is using more